Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening. This is Janet Cato of janetcato.com, and I do spiritual teaching and psychic development and all that good stuff. If you want to subscribe to these little spoken articles that I'm doing, you can go to janet.substack.com. I also put them on YouTube occasionally, although not all of them, and they usually go on YouTube a little later. So if you want to get these exactly as they come out, subscribe to janet.substack.com. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about the universe versus spirit and the difference between the two energies. For what happens when we ask the universe for something versus what happens when we ask spirit for something. Now, a lot of people would just say, or think of the universe as very similar to spirit. But the universe is basically, the very basic energy of the universe is an expansive energy that collects data through experience. The way to look at it is that, as we do know, scientifically, the universe is getting larger or expanding out further. And that means, if you just look at that one very basic principle, that means that everything is a yes. Everything, the universe wants to experience everything. It wants to learn from every experience. It is a giant data collecting machine. And every time you have an experience, it becomes part of the collective data that the universe is growing from. Now, these are energetic and esoteric ideas. Obviously, I'm not a scientist, so we're not going down that rabbit hole, that science rabbit hole. We're going to stick with esoteric principles of the mysteries or the energetics of the universe. So since the universe is a giant data collecting machine and it wants to have every experience possible, when we ask the universe for something, it will always say yes. So if we want to marry that person who's no good for us, or if we want to rob a bank, or if we want to buy something way out of our means or whatever, the universe will say, yes, of course, I want to have that experience, do it. So the universe is really not looking out for our highest good. It just is responding to everything that is occurring. It is collecting and expanding through all of our experiences. So it does operate on certain laws, but laws are more like the laws of gravity. It's just an occurrence. The laws aren't moral or anything like that. So the law of attraction is not a moral law. It is part of that universal yes. The law of abundance, a part of that universal yes. Yes, I want to experience that. Yes, I want to have that. Yes, 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 yes. So in this way, we can clearly see how the earth is shaped by our desires, and the earth is shaped by what we're manifesting, and so on and so forth. It's an extraordinary thing to ponder on how the universe is responding to what we are doing. Now then, since if we consider that its consciousness is really just data collecting, we program it to how it responds to us. So we have programmed this giant universal machine to respond to us in a certain way. So if we are in a abusive cycle, let's just say dysfunctional cycle, that we respond to guilt. So we are always saying yes to anything that makes us feel guilty. Anyone's request, if they make us feel guilty, we'll do it. Then we have created a patterning a programming that will always have people in your life to make you feel guilty, so you will say yes. Now, when you discover that pattern, or you decide you don't want to live that way anymore, you decide you don't want to say yes to anybody who says something or tries to manipulate you through guilt, then you have to reprogram the universe through consistency, through your actions, so that it stops sending you people, or people stop responding to you or trying to manipulate you through guilt. This can take a while, but if you're consistent and you really do stick up for yourself, and you really do have the boundaries, and you really do decide to only answer when there's a feeling of love or joy and so forth, only say yes to those things that make you feel happy and not manipulated by guilt, then that will there's a lag time in order for that to reprogram, but it will reprogram. Now, affirmations work through the universal laws because we are reprogramming our own unconscious to disengage from the dysfunctional cycle. So as we say our affirmations, we do have to have something in the physical world, some action that follows through with the affirmations we're telling our unconscious. Otherwise, there's a disconnect between our actions and what we're affirming, and our actions will always win out. So if we decide to say no to guilt and are only going to answer yes to things that make us feel love or things that we love, but we're still responding to guilt, the affirmations aren't going to help us. So if I wake up every morning and say, today I make every decision based in love, but my mother calls and makes me feel guilty and makes me feel like I have to do something because I owe her or owe someone or whatever, and I follow through with that, then I have just negated my affirmation, and the soul, the unconscious level, becomes confused, and the universe will never shift to support you. So affirmations do have to be followed through with action, whatever that is. If you want to believe that you're beautiful, and you say every morning in the mirror, I am beautiful, but your actions don't support that, you don't do anything to make you feel beautiful, you don't dress in a way, or you don't do something that makes you feel beautiful, then the affirmation is just not going to work. So this is all dealing with the universal energies, the unconscious, the conscious, the data collecting machine, reprogramming that. We have a lot to work on when we change something, because especially the longer we've had a certain pattern in place, the longer it will take for your unconscious, for your conscious, for the universe to get on board with the shift. We can talk about the law of attraction till we're blue in the face, but if we don't follow it up with an action, an affirmative action that says, yes, I am doing this and only this, or yes, I want this and this is what it would feel like to have, this is what a person who has that would behave, and so on, then those kinds of affirmations will fall flat. Okay, now, when we work with spirit, it's an entirely different energy, because spirit is not neutral, although they are completely non-judgmental and very compassionate, loving, and supportive. They have a reason for working with you, and their reason is to support you on your paths, your spiritual expression of yourself on earth. Your spirit, before the theory is, before you came into the world, your spirit wanted to have a certain experience. Let's say your spirit wanted to experience love. And so your spirit comes into body or your soul, your higher self is always out. So these are esoteric theories. So believe what you will. In any case, the dynamic is that your soul comes into body, your higher self, your spirit is still outside of body, still connected with the guides, and still wishing to have its expression of itself through your soul, through your body, through your life. So when you come into body, your spirit guides and your higher self are there to help you fulfill what you requested before you came in. If you requested to experience love, all your life, all your experiences will be supportive of experiencing love or not love, one or the other. So if you make a request from Spirit, it will be granted as long as it follows through on your life's path. So let's call it your life's path. Your spirit's path is your life's path, the way that you agreed to come in. Now, fate and things that are supposed to happen on that path are less or more changeable, let's say, so long as it's in line with the intention of what you stated before you came in. So, Spirit's agenda is to help you fulfill your desires on earth. Your desires, let's say you came in to experience love, so you would experience love in all different levels in all different ways, and Spirit helps set it up so that happens. But Spirit can also help you change your mind. If you change to something else, if you want something different in your life, you can change anything when you're here. But they will always respond to things that are in line with whatever your Spirit's intention is. So, if you ask for something that is not in line with your spiritual intention of being here, of living this life, then it's going to be resistant, and it may not respond to your request for something. So keep that in mind. Now, Spirit can do anything. If we think about what the spiritual energy is versus the universal one, the universe is the creation of Spirit, whatever that is. So, some people think it's a singular person, a singular entity that created the universe. Maybe it's a consciousness that runs through all things. Maybe, whatever it is. So let's talk about Spirit as being the creator of the universe. That can generally be agreed upon. So, if we look at Spirit as the creator of the universe, then Spirit has far more creative power, far more power to change things in the physical world. That's not dependent on the law of attraction. That's not dependent on even karmic laws. That's not dependent on any laws that have to be in place in the world, in the physical world. So Spirit, that's what miracles are. Spirit has superseded the laws of the physical laws and offered something and given you something that is not physically possible. Whether it's a miraculous healing or a sudden influx of money or something that is not expected or even thought possible, Spirit can provide that. When we're dealing with the universe, it's different. The universe does follow the physical laws. So working with Spirit and asking Spirit for what you're in need of and truly trusting them to be able to do so is a much easier energy to work with than the universe. But we do work with both kind of unconsciously all the time. But do pay attention to if you're asking the universe, if you're asking Spirit, and how that feels and what the difference is, and how things can shift your life. This is a very exciting concept to work with. With spirit, you don't need the law of attraction. You just need a request, and all you need with that request is trust that they can do it. When you're working with the universe, you need the law of attraction. You need to change your energy field in order to magnetically attract what you like. So 2 different things, 2 different energies. I would love your comments. I would love your shares with this. And I hope you all are having a wonderful day and really consider how you like working with the universe or spirit and what works for you. Take care, everyone. Until next time.